I've decided to make a YouTube video, which is like majorly embarrassing, but I had a good idea and like something I'm doing I want to document. And so yeah, I made this sweater my sophomore year of high school, and it's not the best sweater. It just like never really fit right. It was like really, like this part here behind my neck was like really large and the stitches were really loose. It just kind of looked sloppy. So I unraveled it, and here I have the ball of yarn from the unraveled sweater, and it's all made from yarn scraps, which is awesome because then if I run out of yarn, I can just scrap together new pieces of yarn. I did already start before I started filming, and this is all I have so far, so I'm not too far along, but I'm going to explain later on more of like the mathy stuff, the logistics, show more like process, but right now I'm going to talk more concept. And so because it's scraps, it's a ton of different colors, and I think they all go very well together. They're not like the most traditional colors to have together, but I don't want it to be just stripes. It's going to be a cardigan, and I wanted to like, I guess, be a little more creative with it. So as you can see here, I stopped and then churned, and then I have this pink color going on here, so I'm kind of gonna like build up the pink panel and then like switch to another color, maybe make it like a little bit of a shorter panel, and yeah, so now I guess I'll show you a little bit of my thinking and process. Ignore my face. So I've been working on this like for a little bit, and it's starting to go inwards a little bit, if you can like see that like little slant there, but then I'm like counting the stitches, and like this side is straight but this side is slanted, but then I was like freaking out, and I remembered that this yarn is a lot thicker than this yarn, and it's just something to remember when you're doing like scrap yarn projects where your yarns are different sizes and weights, that like it might be a little wonky shaped because like some yarns are thicker and thinner than others. With a scrap yarn project, especially like this is all acrylic yarn, there's going to be some unpredictabilities, but yeah, you just gotta keep trusting the process. So I already talked about a little bit like where this yarn came from and how it's from an old sweater that I didn't like the way it fit, but I just wanted to like show, like I made like an Instagram reel about it, so I'm just gonna like pop that here while I talk a little bit about the shape of the sweater I'm going for. So I don't know if you've seen it on Pinterest, like, or like on like Instagram, those sweaters that are all one piece and then like you fold over and like sew up this part, and like I'll like put a picture there. That's what I'm going for this sweater, because I was like always really curious about how that would fit and how that would look. And because this sweater is from scrap yarn, so like the yarn's unpredictable and stuff, I don't use patterns, but I don't want to follow a strict pattern. So I've run into a little bit of a predicament. I'm just starting on the front, and I'll show you that in a minute, but this is how much yarn I have left. And like when the ball started, it was like that big, and I'm just finished like the collar. But the good thing about this project is because it's scrap yarn, you can always like supplement with other scrap yarn. But my problem is I'm at school right now and I don't really have my full yarn supply with me, and I've only brought things for specific projects, so I might have to take a couple weeks hiatus from this project. But I'll keep you updated. I'll try and source scrap yarns from other little things unraveling different projects. But yeah. This is how much yarn I have left. I think I'm gonna have to take a break from this project for a little while. I think I'm gonna make a hat, like one of those like lace, like skull cap things. Yeah, I'm devastated, but I'm just gonna have to wait like a week. It's not that long. My parents are coming to visit next weekend, so I think I'm just gonna wait for them to bring me some more scraps from home, but I'm so sad. I knew this was gonna happen because I'm using a smaller hook this time, but yeah. I finally have my yarn from home. My parents visited this weekend. It was awesome, but here is my bag full of scraps. And now, oh, this is like one of my favorites. This like bright hot pink. I want to put it somewhere up here so it's like right by my face, because I love this hot pink color. I have like this green. But yeah, right now I'm just kind of mapping out where I want the colors to go, because I actually get to map this out a little bit more and have a little bit more choice of what I add where, and I'm gonna have to do some untangling. But yeah, a little bit more choice of what I add where on this sweater, and I'm excited to get back into it because it's the only thing I want to work on. But I'm in the middle of midterms right now, so I can't really work on it, so I'll probably finish it over spring break. But yeah, I'm just really excited to get back into it. So I have been trucking along with this cardigan, and it's finally at a point where I can start to like try it on. And I finished up this whole side, and I sewed up this sleeve to see if it was a good size once I finished this sleeve, so I could make it longer, like wider if I wanted to. But I like this wideness for the sleeve, because I feel like if it's any wider, it would be too wide around the hands. I can like roll this up if I want to, which I think is really cute. But yeah, here's it right now. Yeah, and I'm like planning out my next colors. I love the way this sleeve turned out. The colors together I think are so cute, and it's nice that I don't have all my yarn like in a big ball, that I'm just using the preset colors that I chose out like 3 years ago. So I actually get to choose which colors go next, and I love these two together, this like hot pink with this green. I'm gonna do a little yellow, a little this like very striking blue. One thing I did notice though, and I honestly don't think I'm gonna fix it, not because like I don't want to put in the time, but I just like don't think I'm gonna care, is that this side is a lot wider than this side, and I don't know how that happened, because I like counted the stitches when I said, so like I made my collar and I like divided it in half, but this side I don't know what I did wrong. But honestly, like this side isn't too tight or anything. A lot of the time I will be wearing it buttoned, so I think it'll be fine. Like I'm not gonna fix it. but unless like it presents a big problem, and I don't mind fixing it because like these garments should be worn, like if you're putting this much time in. And I also chose which buttons I want to put on. But yeah, I'm really excited to have this because I made this headband that is so cute, and I'm like just envisioning this outfit with like this sweater and that headband and like hoop earrings and like colorful makeup, and I am getting really excited to be able to wear the sweater. And I need to finish it before it's like early March right now, and I need to finish this sweater before it gets too like warm. And I know I'll always have like summer nights to wear it, and dreading sewing in all of these ends already. But yeah, I'm really excited. So the sleeve is done, and I'm just going on this body portion now, which is not going to take much longer. So like the actual sweater itself will be done so soon, and I'm so excited. So the actual crocheting of the sweater is done. I have it here, and now what I'm doing is I sewed up the sides, so like the sleeves are here so I can try it on, and one sleeve is longer than the other, but the side of the sleeve is shorter on. That side of the front panel is wider, so it evens itself out. It's not noticeable, but it's just interesting that that happened. Anyway, so I need to now sew up all these little holes I have between my patches, I guess. So I did the color work like so it isn't stripes. At some points I go up a little higher than others. And so I'm just sewing together those pieces now, and you can see this is what the inside looks like. So you can see the stitching there, but I'm quite proud of myself. On the outside, like you can't see it at all. And it just kind of, okay, you can see it right there a little. But this was the first piece I sewed up, so I got better after this. But you can't even see the stitching. And it just kind of looks like they blend together. Because I find it kind of ugly, like, when you're crocheting and you're doing something like this and you, like, put your hook into the other panel so they, you know, stay together as they go. It creates this kind of, like, zigzag edge. And I wanted the edges to be clean. And I'm very happy with how the edges are turning out. So I just need to go in and fix all of these holes that we have here so I can properly try it on in one piece, and then I'm going to crochet the button band and like a common border around the whole piece, so around the cuffs and around the bottom, and probably a few rows in the collar. I might do some crochet ribbing there and for the button band, and then I will add in my buttons. I'm going out with my boyfriend today, and I had a vision of wearing this sweater today when we go out, and so I've been working on it all morning. I just needed to finish the button band, sew the buttons on, and then tying on my loose ends, which has proved to be a bigger task than I thought, because I finished the actual crocheting like 4 days ago. Well, I guess the button band would be considered actual crocheting, but here I have it. So the button band's all done, and all I need to do is tie in the loose ends now and do the buttons. But I don't know if I'm going to get around to the buttons because we're leaving in a couple hours and I have class. But here it is on. It's actually really comfortable considering it's all acrylic yarn. But yeah, I think it looks so cute, and I love the colors. I like this side a lot better than this side. This arm here I think is kind of cool, and I'm glad I added in the hot pink because I feel like it needed it, but I just love this, like the way this turned out. Ugh. And I think I'm going to sew this band over that one because I like the hot pink a lot. she's done. I haven't sewed in all the ends, but all of the visible ends are sewed in. I have my buttons here. I have this done. The only thing I really have left to do is steam and or block. It's acrylic, so blocking doesn't really work that much, but steaming works really well. But I don't have anything to steam with here at school with me, so you can see it's curling a little around the edges and it's still like a little stiff, which acrylic will always be stiff. But hopefully once I steam her at home, and I won't be home for another month, so I'm not going to be able to show the finished product, but then hopefully she'll drape a little bit better and won't be curling in at the edges, and will just be like a more flowier fit. But yeah, I'm actually really happy with it. I've worn it this morning to breakfast and I got like 3 compliments on it. It's not my favorite thing I've crocheted because I finished a rather fabulous sweater pretty recently that I'm really proud of. So this one's like in second place, but I am actually really happy with the result. It's a big upgrade from what I had before because this is, you know, unraveled from another scrap sweater that I made like 4 years ago. I like the way it fits a lot. I like this like boxy fit it has. I feel like this boxy fits so cute, so comfy. I can't wait to just like wear her with sweatpants and like lounge around in her, and that's what I'm doing today. It's just lounging in her, and because it's a cardigan, I'll be able to wear it a little bit more into the spring because it is rather warm. That's what you get with acrylic because it's plastic, so it doesn't really breathe that much. So it's maybe not a summer cardigan, but it's the perfect spring cardigan and a fun sweater for the winter, especially with all these buttons, which I'm just obsessed with. All the different colors and like how some of them are shiny. Yeah, I'm just like really happy with how it turned out, even though this panel is a little bit shorter and this sleeve is a little longer and this sleeve is a little shorter and this panel is a little wider. It's fine. Like, at the end of the day, it all evened out and I'm very satisfied. Maybe it's just like the new project exhilaration, but yeah, here she is.